everyone, welcome to the world of English with Sakshi Khanna. In today's session, I'm just starting with the second chapter of book Hornbill grade 11. So please pay attention all the 11th in today's session, and by evening you will be getting all the notes, summary and line to line explanation as well, because I got to know by your comments that you are not getting the clear vision of your lecture when we need to make some notes. So I'm just finishing your problem here by sending you the notes also of every video lesson. Now from today, whatever the video lesson will be forwarded to you, you will be receiving the same one, PDF form based or the text based note as well. So there will be no problem for you to understand the things. Okay. So today's chapter, first I just want to tell you it's all about the willingness. What we want. We want the comfort zone. We want the challenging zone. Whatever we want, we get actually. So always think positive. Okay. So today we are not afraid to die if we all are together. The sentence is so informative and full of meaning, sense, the moral lesson also. If we are all together, we are united, we can face all the challenges of the life. Even if you are talking about this COVID-19 outbreak which happened in the world, not in the country, in the world across, we can face that challenge as well. But if we all are together. So let's move to today's chapter. First of all, in today's session, what you are doing today, that what meanings, difficult words we need to understand before we start line by line explanation tomorrow. Afterwards, the theme, the plot, very important, the major incidents happen during the voyage of this chapter. This all we will be doing today. So let's move to the topic. We are not afraid to die if we are together. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together. This is the title of the chapter's second book, Hornbill, grade 11, is written by Gordon Cook and Alan East. In this image, you can see a ship sailing on the sea. So, this story is all about the seashore, touching the seashore. That means getting into the life, leaving the seashore, accepting the challenges in the life. So, this story is involving all such elements which we are talking here. Here the story is about a 37 years old businessman. He is a young man, a very young man, who is the narrator of the story himself. He has a wife named Mary and two children, Jonathan, aged 6, and Suzanne, aged 7. He and his wife both dream of a voyage. Voyage, it's expedition, traveling around the world on their ship Wave Walker. Wave Walker is the name of the ship which I am showing you on the image, which is a 23-meter long, 30-ton wooden hull, just like the famous Captain James Cook. As Captain James Cook had the expedition of going around the world in his ship. In the same way, he repeated the same task. The whole family started sailing from Plymouth, England on July 1976. The initial phase of the 3-year-long journey was from Africa to Cape Town. It was pleasant while heading east along with two newly hired crewmen. Strong waves hit them and their survival became a question. The story tells us about how they fought each day and survived till the end. Yes, every day they were encountering with different sort of challenges. Very severe, very dangerous, so risky challenges they faced because they were all together. Nobody lost the courage. So this story gives us very important lesson. In the end, I will discuss about that as well. So let's move to the story. First of all, the main incidents, the plot, and the short summary. Let's move on. Characters of the story, we are talking about the narrator here, Mary the wife, Jonathan son, Suzanne daughter, American. I talked about two crewmen, two young crewmen. One was American named Larry Vigil and second was Swiss Hobbs Scissor. Crewman. They both were crewmen. So these are the main characters which we see in the story today. Gordon Cook, 37-year-old businessman, sharing the image of his family Jonathan, Suzanne and Mary the wife. Now, first of all, the introduction of the narrator. A man of great courage, undoubtedly, commitment and conviction, proved to be the best captain as well as the best father with appending gift and determination. Narrator, the best captain as well as the best father. Best father because he saved the kids, and best captain, he saved the ship as well, the wave walker. Next we come to Mary, the wife. A wife who always stood by her husband's side in all times of difficulty and considered her dreams as her own. It was the dream of the man, the gentleman. Means, what is the name? Gordon Cook. It was the dream of Gordon Cook, not of Mary. But this shows the foundation with husband and wife. Okay, because she considered her husband dream, her own dream like that. Suzanne, she was a brave girl. Her bravery toughened her father's resolve to fight the sea-strong storm tooth and nail. Tooth and nail is the proverb here. Means the utmost dangerous situation, then we say the tooth and nail. Means narrowly escape we. When we say I escaped narrowly. So that means tooth and nail. So strong, the situation was disastrous. Jonathan shows of bravery and his fearlessness in the face of death highlights his characters. He rejuvenated the hope of his father by remarking, he made this statement which was the title of the chapter. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together. Let's begin with the plot of the story. On July 1976, they sailed for journey to world voyage. They tried to duplicate the round the world voyage made 20 years earlier by James Cook. He made an attempt of going around the world by his own ship. In the same way, they wanted to repeat that task, in the ship Waywalker which they built. First leg of the journey. Leg is the face. Leg means the face, the time. First leg of the journey, how it was. As I shared with you, it was so pleasant. They pleasantly sailed down from west coast of Africa to Cape Town. Then further they sailed to southern Indian Ocean. When they entered, then the difficult leg of the journey started. When did they get the first sign of implementing disaster? Means the challenging time when they got it. They encountered strong wind on second day of Cape Town and was continued for weeks. Waves rise to 15 meter long, as high as mast. Mast is the tower. It's a tower on the ship. Till that height means the waves were touching the mast. Disaster and its aftermath. 6 p.m. Tremendous explosion shocked the deck and powerful flow of water broke over the ship. Ship was also broken. Waywalker was getting sunk. You mean to understand, getting sunk means badly in the situation of drowning only. And captain was badly injured. Second major concern, captain was injured. And first issue, the ship was broken with the flow of the water. Captain kept courage and found the wheel and lined up the stern for next wave. Crewmen shows off the unparalleled strength. Crewmen also showed unparalleled strength means they were also so courageous and they didn't lose the hope. They were following their master, mean the captain, properly. They started pumping out water and settled to make necessary repairs to save the boat from sinking. They managed to stretch canvas and secure waterproof hatch over cover across gaping holes because the ship was broken and water got into the ship. It's everywhere and it is very dangerous for the ship. Ship can sink. Okay, that you must have seen in Titanic movie. Other problems they faced: electric pump got short circuit, out of working. Water level rose threateningly. Daughter Suzanne was badly injured. These were some other issues to see. Only hope for the captain to reach the island, which was only possible if the wind will slow down. But it was not happening so far. To reach Amsterdam, which is few hundred kilometers to the east. They were just away from Amsterdam, means their target island 100 kilometer to the east. Showing off the exemplary courage he showed, Jonathan said at end of the story, when they were about to reach to the island Amsterdam, "We are not afraid to die if we all can be together." Jonathan courage and Sue bravery, instead of her, Sue means Suzanne, instead of her bumped head means when we get some injury, some hurt on the bones and we get swelling like that, so it's bumped head inspired the captain to fight the sea and protect his family, even though they both got injured badly. But still they were saying that no issue if we are dying, but we are together, we are still satisfied. And this thing was giving the courage to the father, to the captain as well as the father, to save the boat and the family. Talking about the most crucial days in their expedition, that was January 4th and 5th. After 36 hours of continuous pumping, there was only few water left. They hoisted the storm ship and headed in direction of two islands. Black clouds built. Now this was a major concern when after fighting with the strong waves, high waves, now the temperature of the sea and the waves were getting so higher, and in the evening it was becoming so cloudy, dark clouds at 4 p.m. which was giving them the indication of again hard time. Finally safe at last, on January 6th they saw Waywalker ride out storm, means out of storm, and wind east means comforting the Waywalker. They expected to see the island at 5 p.m. but they wake up at 6 p.m. and thought they missed the island. But they were wrong and they touched the shore at Amsterdam. With this image you can see how pacified the sea was looking and ship was sailing so softly. In the same way the author said, now they got the island, they reached the island safely. Of the title in the story. The title is taken from the Jonathan's remark because he created this title. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together. It brings out the bravery, grit and courage of the captain's family and love each member has for others. Theme of the story: human nature of knowing and taking on challenges. We all are taking challenges daily basis, knowing also that the way is not so easy for us to move, but some moves, but some things only. So human instinct for survival, human bravery, great courage, unity and determination, which is the story, is exhibited even by small children. The small children gave us the lesson of bravery, great courage, unity and determination. How? Bravery, even though they were injured. Grit and courage, both are same, you know all that. Unity, even though they were injured but they didn't scream even for their pain, even though they were suffering with the pain and determination. They decided that their father is the best captain of the world and the best father as well, and they will be saved. With this image, I can show you the routes of Captain James Cook voyage. The first voyage is shown in red, second voyage in green, and third voyage in blue. The route of Cook's crew following his death is shown as a dashed blue line. So there are three colors have been used. There are three colors. You feel that red, the first phase, second voyage in green, and third voyage in blue. So these were the routes. These were the routes of Captain James Cook voyages in three ways, and his death is shown as a dashed blue line. If you know about James Cook, if you haven't, then it's really wonderful to know about him. His expeditions were amazing. You need to know that. Let me brief you up about the writers here. Gordon Cook, born December 3, 1978 in Toronto, is a two-time Canadian Olympic sailor. He sails for the Royal Canadian Yacht Club. He is the son of Stephen Cook and Linda Cook. He had a great interest in writing stories too. Alan East was admitted to the role of solicitors in 2003 and has gained extensive experience as a litigator, manager and legal trainer. In 2010, Alan joined Coventry University as a senior lecturer in law. So they both are the writers. The story We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together is a story of extreme courage and skill exhibited by Gordon Cook, his family and crewmen in a war with water. Yes, it was like a war, but here with water, not with the enemy, with the water and waves for survival. How beautifully it has been explained, the war with water. In July 1976, the narrator, his wife Mary, son Jonathan and daughter Suzanne set sail from Plymouth, England to duplicate the round-the-world voyage made 200 years earlier by Captain James Cook. They took the voyage in their professionally built ship. Yes, they made their ship themselves, named Wavewalker, accompanied by two experienced sailors, Larry Vigil, an American, and Herb Siller, a Swiss man, to tackle one of the world's roughest sea. One of the world's roughest sea is known as the southern part of Indian Ocean. The first part of the journey, that is about 105,000 you can say kilometers up to Cape Town, passed off very pleasantly. On the second day out of Cape Town, they began to encounter strong gales. Strong gales means dangerous waves. Gales didn't worry the narrator because he was experienced of all such things. But the size of the waves was alarming, up to 15 meters, as high as the mainmast. Mainmast, the tower of the ship. On 25th December, the writer's ship was in the southern Indian Ocean, 3,500 kilometers to the east of Cape Town. The family celebrated their New Year on board the ship at dawn on January 2. The waves were gigantic, unfriendly weather, and dangerous waves compelled the sailors to slow their speed, drop storm zip, and take other precautions. The danger was so obvious that the sailors completed raft drill, attached lifelines and life jackets. Suddenly at 6 p.m., this is the time of the New Year and Christmas we are talking about, a tremendous explosion shook the Wavewalker and the author was thrown overboard. In this way, he got injuries. The ship was about to capsize when another dangerous gigantic wave hit it, tossing it. Tossing it means as we toss the food particles, something in the frying pan. In the same way, the ship was being tossed in the sea. It upright once again. The author was thrown back onto the deck, his head and ribs smashing against the walls. He got injury in the way. In spite of his injuries, the narrator took charge of the situation. He didn't lose his courage, even though he was badly injured. Somehow he found the wheel, lined up the stem for the next wave, and hung on till Mary appeared and took charge of the wheel. Now, Mary also joined him because he got injury and he was not able to hold the steering. Hold the wheel, you can say. Larry and Herb started pumping out water like madman. Like a mad person, they were just throwing out water with the pumps. The whole starboard side bulged inward. Starboard is the deck area of the boat, big boat. I will explain you when we will go with the line by line explanation. The narrator managed to cover canvas across the gaps to prevent water from entering the ship. Then came more problems. Their hand pumps stopped working and electric pumps short circuited. Now pumps were also out of their working. Fortunately, the narrator found a spare electric pump under the chat room that worked. Because where there is a will, you will get the way. The entire night was spent in pumping, steering, repairing, and sending radio signals. The narrator checked charts and calculated that Amsterdam, a French scientific base, was their only hope, means the next major island which they can expect to land. Sue and John were injured, but they said that they were not afraid to die if they could all be together. Sue's head was swollen and she had a deep injury. The narrator became more determined, seeing his children's courage. Finally, they reached Amsterdam, a volcanic island where they were welcomed by 28 inhabitants. 28 people were just living there and they were welcomed by them very nicely. Thus, the collective strength and never failing optimism of the sailors made it possible for them to come out of the jaws of death. Jaws of death. Mort que mousse. It is like that. Though Jonathan and Suzanne did not do anything to save a Walker, but their courage, even though kids were not helping the father, wife was not doing anything, just making the things, the situations pacified, satisfied. That was the duty of the lady, and kids were encouraging the father. So it's not like that if you are not working means you are not doing something. You are doing so many other things behind the stage. On the stage, in front, father was there. But back front, who were there? The family, the whole family, their tremendous courage. That's why I said, though Jonathan and Suzanne did not do anything to save a Walker, but their courage, forbearance. Forbearance means to bear everything. Faith and optimism gave extra strength and persistence to the narrator and his team. The bravery of the strong-willed children is noteworthy here in the story. Let's talk about the difficult words of this chapter. First is sail. These are not all the difficult words. You will be getting with the explanation also some extra words with the meaning. But here are some major words which have come in the chapter. Sailed, of a boat or ship having a sail or sails of a specified kind. Atrocious, horrifying, wicked. Very dangerous, mean to say. Enormous, very large in size, quantity or extent. Don, put on, an item of clothing. Impending, be about to happen. Something is going to happen. Tremendous, very great in amount, scale or intensity, power-wise. Enormous, size-wise. but tremendous power-wise. Abandon, cease to support or look after. Desert, scrambled, make one's way quickly or awkward up a steep gradient or over rough ground by using one's hand as well as one's feet. It's a scrambled egg. If I talk about the dish, what we do with the scrambled eggs, okay, so in the same way means very roughly we do something. Wrenched, pull or twist suddenly and violently. Abated of something unpleasant or severe, become less intense or widespread. Abated, very less in the intensity, you can say. Auxiliary, providing supplementary. Auxiliary verbs, if you remember, in the same way, helping hands or additional help and support the two crewmen, Swissman and the American. Deteriorate, become progressively worse. Deteriorate, become progressively worse. Slowly, gradually getting worse, deteriorate. Bunk, a narrow shelf-like bed, typically one of two or more arranged one on top of the other. Bunkers, you must have heard this term. Chorus, of a group of people. Chorus, if you heard about the songs, Christmas songs, the chorus, okay, from that they have taken the word. Say the same thing at the same time of a group of people. Bleak, of an area of land lacking vegetation and exposed to the elements. Which has no vegetation, bleak area. Optimistic, hopeful and confident about the future. Before I sign you off today, guys, I just want to tell you one thing, that in the image, Amsterdam, the island of their life, means touching the island is giving the feeling to the family that they are touching the life. They are touching the life. This was the terror of the death they all faced, but with the courage they came over as well. So this was an island inhabited by 28 people who welcome them. So before I close today's session, I just want to tell you about the story which speaks about the adventures of a family. It's all about the adventure. Yes, there was no other reason. Okay, it was just an adventure. It was just a dream of the family which they wanted to have. So the story speaks about the adventures of a family which is out on a voyage. The story is an encounter described by the author which he experienced while taking the expedition. You witness a stream of unfortunate events, really deadly events that led to a disaster for this family. Living its dream of sailing, the story brings many emotions, which helps you to understand the importance of bonding in a family, and you will see how each member of the family perseveres to survive the deadly situation. It gives us very important lesson by showing that how our attitude can affect our performance in any of the situation. Let us talk about today's situation, that is COVID-19 outbreak. You all are getting depressed. Everyone is getting depressed, under depression, stress feeling, okay, anxiety attacks. These all are common things. But we should always remember, if we are living, we are getting up in the morning, we are living healthy, it's a great word. It's a great gift of the God. If we are living with our family, we are seeing them healthy and protected, it's a big gift of the God. So please don't depress. The time will surpass, but we need to keep the courage and the patience. Till the next lesson, tomorrow we will be doing the line to line explanation, okay, and by evening you will be getting all the notes, summary, the plot of the story, and you need to pen down all those things which I'm sending you, okay, and I will check as well. So stay protected, stay safe, be happy, support your parents. Life is really wonderful. Live it to the fullest.